beachfront house along Oceanside and Carlsbad to ever respond to me, for those who wonder. Vista and San Marcos, by far, hands down. More inland in Oceanside. Orange County. Irvine does better than, say, some of the other areas. Newport, right? Irvine has always been great for Orange County for me. Santa Ana, Anaheim. I could just tell you all the spots. I could almost draw a map at this point and tell you which cities are going to have the higher response rates. And with the number of people that keep coming in, like they're booking Kevin right now for Monsters. The secret is 36 per week, go on 3 to 5, follow up. It is the same formula that Marianne Schmelz has talked about repeatedly on this call. It's almost no rocket. If you are a single person or a small team of like us, 3 people, if you're chasing a listing per week, that's a lot of business. That's a lot of business. For a single individual person trying to close down 1 deal per month, that's a lot of paperwork. Trust me, I'll make it really clear and put Diana over on this. I don't do paperwork. I'm not good at paperwork. Don't like paperwork. Don't pay any of the bills either. I admit it. I'm not good at that either. There's a department in the back. That's why it gets all the money. So good for her. And I know it's a lot of paperwork. I've been a realtor. All of you who are trying to do deals and your paperwork and all of that, read the 4-Hour Workweek, please. Get yourself a team. I'm not saying you need a Kevin in your life to go out and go on your first appointments. It helps. But it's not crazy to say, David, like our job, how important is it to see yourself as a realtor, as a rainmaker, instead of a paperwork or sort of a grunt to your own business? I mean, some people don't have a choice and have to do it at the beginning, but how important is it from a 4-Hour Workweek perspective to at least get an assistant to cover some of the paperwork or any of that to lighten the load?
Well, you're talking to a guy that worked till 2:30 in the morning the last 2 nights and then got up and did 8 a.m. first meetings. So, but I have a team. But I think about, when you're saying that, I read the 4-Hour Workweek and I built the staff. And here's what I can tell you is that every time I added an employee, somebody to handle my admin, somebody to do inside sales, somebody to do marketing, somebody to do transaction coordinating, I did not think that I could afford to do them. And every time I did it, I just choked it down. I went on faith. My business grew.
Right.
And because what happens is that as I have more time to do sales and marketing, I do more sales and marketing.
Yeah, right.
So the sales, so every minute I'm doing doing a transaction or negotiating a short sale or calling people who haven't returned a call or email in 6 months, that's not really the highest and best use of my time. And so, so I'm focusing on, I have the luxury now. I didn't always, because I had to do all these jobs, and I recognize a lot of people on this do not have that luxury, but I got here one job at a time, and over a 3-year period it took me, but one job at a time. I started giving these jobs away. I'm a little at a time, and now I'm a full-time, sales and marketing person, and we're busy all the time.
Yeah.
Okay? And even when we're slow, we're busier than our peers. We're still busy. I mean, it's been a really long time since we didn't close multiple transactions in a month.
Yeah, I agree. I know how bad other agents are struggling. I'll give you guys some kind of texture to how I see the market. I have one of the largest real estate databases email lists on the planet. Or as one person referred to while I was in a cab in Atlanta 5 years ago, and I quote from an obscure source, "Is there anybody who isn't on that damn list?" That was the quote. From a person I had never met in the front seat of the cab. It was a car full of people on the way over to a dinner at an event. It was just a head turning around to look at me going, who isn't on that list? Hey, it's a good list. It's almost generational. It's like got generations going for it. I can tell you how agents respond and when they're buying, almost how the market is going. And I can say for the 80% crowd right now, they are struggling wholeheartedly. Like I'm hard pressed. I would love to sell a lot of monsters. Don't anybody on the call get me wrong. I love selling the monsters to the right crowd and putting people on it. I like people working expireds and probates and defaults and all the different data types we talk about. Primarily notice of default and notice of sale for anybody who's new on the call. That is bread and butter in my opinion. But I'm not doing that many webinars that I normally do. I mean, I've done as many as 20 webinars in a month, and I can tell you over the last 2 or 3 months, I'm lucky if I do a webinar a week, maybe, and we're averaging 3 to 5 sales per week, something weird like that. I mean, it's a pretty steady thing just based on me driving people at videos that are already in place. So I just know what the market's about. I just know how desperate agents are. I can dictate what they look at. And for all of you, you have it's almost a magical ability. Doesn't matter. And I know this about many of you on the call. You haven't put your first tag up yet. I guarantee this is something David has to deal with the advocate marketing group as well. Until you put your first set of tags up, everything else is just talk. It's just talk. It literally is all just talk. The secret is you got to go and put tags up and go on the appointments. And Diana doesn't agree with this next statement, and I'll throw it out to you, David. I think you have to go the first couple of weeks and take your lumps at the front door and get comfortable. There's no other way around it because I don't think it fits into any. I've been in real estate since '88. I mean, I've bought the butcher letter. I mean, I've done all the stuff. There is nothing that fits into the mold of what to expect at the front door based on the way the monster works. It's far less stressful than what we imagine. How do you feel about that?
Well, I think you want to be as prepared as you can, but it's funny. We talked about this in our advocate marketing coaching class yesterday. And, I have more of a point, shoot, aim mentality. There are some people in our group, and I was kind of encouraging them, to go do it because there's a lot of people in the world who are doing the equivalent of waiting until they can afford to have children to have children. And if you wait till you can afford to have children, you'll never have children. And like with Monster, if you're waiting until you feel like you got it perfect and you know every little detail, you're never going to get there because you never do, because I'm still learning. And I'm really good at it. So so I take a point, shoot, aim mentality. You just go do it, and you're going to suck the first time, and it's going to be a little better the second time, but it's going to take, I think what you're saying is what I agree. It's the only way to really figure it out is to go do it. Now, it's great to have some scripts, and it's great to have some good, a good package, and it's great to, to be able to anticipate what the objections are and know what direction you're going to go with those, which are things that we taught in the advocate marketing system when we do at seminars and that kind of thing. But the truth is that don't wait until you feel like you got it perfect. Just go do it. You just have to know more than the person at the front door. You don't have to have all the answers. You don't have to, have a little humility. I don't know all the answers, and sometimes I got to figure it out. And not having all the answers is a great reason to have a second meeting. And that's the goal of the first meeting, is just to have a second meeting. So if you don't have all the answers, hey, I'm not sure about that. I'd like to do a little more research for you. In addition, I want to bring my free loan mod book. I want to bring the Keep Your Home California, program, see if you might be eligible for some of that. And I'll also get you the answer to that question. How's tomorrow look for us to get back together? And now I got a second meeting. So just go put tags out. You'll figure it out. You're going to get your ass kicked the first time or three. But, if you can live through it, you'll be a better person because of it.
I completely agree with you. I I have to be honest with all of you listening. I dread the day that if God forbid I lose Kevin to the fire academy and doing something, good with his life, not like us in real estate. I mean, an actual, honest to God, contributing, doing something amazing for society kind of human being, like protecting you for minimal pay. I'm going to have to be the one to go on the appointments. I know the dynamic of Team Diana. The tags are still going to go up, and Team Lee is going to go be the first appointment. And I'm not, David knows this and Diana knows this. I'm horrible at first appointments. Horrible. I cannot tell you how many fiascos I've gone to the front door and they start to cry or they're too emotional and I'm already calling David going, here, it's not my gig. Not my gig. I can tell you even the last real appointment I went on, I showed up at the door. There's a woman crying, writing a check out to Countrywide, still Countrywide. Can't even make that up, for like $300, explaining that's all she had in her bank. And crying. Ugh. I wanted no part of it and couldn't get away from that situation as quick as I could. I am so not good at the front door. Now, I'm really good at tagging. And I'm going to have to get really good at faking it and not being emotionally invested in the outcome, as they say. So for all of you who haven't tagged, and I know there are a great many of you who have not tagged, go tag. Just go. Just put up the tags. Let me knock down some of these questions. Moby, I just need the investor. Fair enough, Moby. Robert's number, while I'm looking at my phone. By the way, donate to his children. Par for stars. Just saying. I just did that. I like his children. I like his family. Maybe that's why I'm emotionally invested in that situation. I know the family. Robert's number for all of you is area code 949-572-4468. His email is Robert Fragoso, Fragoso Jr., @gmail.com. If you want to see some of or listen to Robert speak, you can go to the podcast page on the main page of my website and scroll back and watch Robert. In fact, today I've been waking up at 3 in the morning, David, and working then at 3 in the morning. It's a very weird thing that's happening. This week's podcast is Davis Bartel. Davis Bartel. I said that correctly. That'll be great for Davis's already inflated ego as an extremely pretty person, both inside and out. Donald, David has a vision and grew his business smartly. Yes, he did. I can say this. The only reason I haven't outsourced most of the monster work is because I'm a control freak. And David did something that I have a difficulty doing with monster sales, which is outsourcing. I barely have people call and follow up on leads. Can I do a 3-hour session with me, Donald? Yeah, I still owe you time. Donald took a short sale listing last night that took him 3 years to get through the monster. That's awesome. Determination. $629,000 listing. Good. Stephen Guzman. He changed it. He added the N to the end, David, because he grew up. He got married.
Stephen.
It's now Stephen.
Awesome.
I feel that that's a wife's influence all the way, Steve. I just do. And I know him well enough that I can make fun. I bet he hasn't had a cigar since he's been married. I'll bet actual money. Every door and person at the door is different, so you never know the way that we'll never be all the way ready to go. I agree. I think you just have to go. It's a Nike ad. Moby, an initial front door script, an X script would be great. And it's not hard. Hi, I'm with a homeowner advocacy group. That's the opener. I mean, everybody puts it like it's a clunky sounding script, and I've heard all the scripts and I've watched all this stuff. But I mean, reality is, hi, I'm a homeowner advocate. You've heard last week I had Kevin run his exact script. The "you couldn't pay me if you tried" script, which is very powerful. And he actually gets to say, I'm not a realtor, which brings him joy every day when he gets to say it. So we have plenty of those. Vic, Lee, how do you feel about using the data provided